What's good with the YouTube? You already know, Big Flocka with a convict's perspective, and I'm gonna smash, dash, and slide on through with that little bit of energy, man. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, and help support this channel. Hit the bell notification for further fire content like I'm about to drop right now, man. And we're gonna talk about an incident that happened in High Desert State Prison. Okay, I think around 2018, man. Okay, it's about the issue that happened with the Nortenos got off with the Africanos and the Surenos got involved. Okay, now it all started up in, I think I'm gonna say C upper in Building 5. Okay, so what was going on was there was these two homeboys that were in a cell. They were the only homeboys in the bottom tier. Individual named Gato from Corning, and then Shooter from Stockton. Okay, both good dudes. So they had a neighbor that was a Damu from down south of Blood, right? Who was basically, making promises about putting money on Green Dot to get some crystal and whoa, whoa, whoa. And the dude was getting all twacked out and built up an $800 debt, right? So what ends up happening, right? That's a big debt. Rather than this dude fucking be held accountable, right? Now, on the bottom tier, it was just two. They were the only two Nortenos. There were some Surenos, and there was Crips and Bloods. So basically, the doors popped open to feed chow. Now, in the level 4 180 design, they feed you like bottom tier, then they lock it up, and then upper tier lock you up. They popped the bottom tier for chow time, right? This Damu came out and knocked out Gato, right? When he knocked out Gato, Shooter started handling his business, the homeboy from Stockton. Gato was a short homeboy. From there, a bunch of Crips and Bloods just ran and jumped in. Now, there was a metal that was in the top tier that was witnessing all this, that was part of, his name was, I think, Vino from 18th Street, right? He ordered the Surenos to jump in, okay? So the Surenos came to the aid to help these homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Because they were getting victimized by not just Bloods, the Crips jumped in for the Bloods, right? So a whole melee happened, they went on lockdown, okay? While on lockdown, there was like an undercover carnal that got the directives. They were on another, I think they were on there was only 17 homeboys on the yard at this time. And so what they did is there was 24. So at first they came in with points and tips. Kirby was undercover carnal and gave the directives, man, that this is what has to happen because the dope that was owed to Gato was owed to the carnal, Grumpy from Gilroy, the one that they tried to kill recently. Okay. Now Kirby was the undercover carnal. And so they started putting a plan of attack, a POA. And so what ended up happening was about 7 homeboys locked it up, of course. Now, they were not going to rely on the Surenos to jump in or whatnot. That was just a situation that, hey, if the Surenos come to their aid, they come to their defense, is cool. They've been respectful and whatnot. But if they don't, oh well. So they end up attacking. They had 2 waves. I think the first wave was like a couple cats from fucking Sacramento. Let me see. One homeboy from Salas. The next wave was a homeboy from San Jose. 3 stay from fucking Salinas, and a couple cats that that I know. They rushed. Next thing you know, they had 17 of the Crips. They got them to the center of the field when they rushed them somehow. The Sureños came to their fucking aid and assisted them, and they all got off on the fucking Crips. And I think the Crips and the Bloods. So it turned into a fucking big old melee, right? And what was being pushed, I was told, was United Raza, period, solidarity. So this was the first event that had happened that to where the Surenos jumped in. It's a numbers game and all that, man. But they seen what happened because of this hostilities. I guess the relationships between both sides, big homies, have been really a lot more established behind the walls than what people know. You know what I'm saying? So the Surenos did live up to what they said they were going to do. If you Nortenos get off over here, we're getting off with you guys, which was a shocker. You know what I'm saying? And I talked to my person at length. You know what I'm saying? And he told me that. I go, well, how did all the homeboys feel about it? He said most are fucking in agreement with it. He goes, you got a few that don't fucking like it from the old ways. He goes, but most of us fucking, most of us don't care, and most of us were only tripping off the upstaters. He goes, but then again, he said, that's just like with them down south, they fight each other. So it's the same thing up north, we're fighting these upstaters. He goes, so it's really no difference. You know what I'm saying? And that, they just looked at the Southerners as Raza from down south that they really never had any issues with. You know what I'm saying? And so they started to do a lot more stuff behind the walls. On September 16th, they bust down and spread together. Cinco de Mayo, they bust down Christmas and all that. And he said that he's been to different households after that. In every household, within the household policies, it says if any Sureños jump or they have any issues outside of the Raza race, the Nortenos are to fucking get off and defend them. Same thing with the Sureño Reglas. And this is someone that was active for a long time and that, just barely fell off recently. You know what I'm saying? And in addition to that, they were part of the inner workings. You know what I'm saying? They were fucking there with fucking, with Mondo Quinn and Grumpy and Big R and Kirby and all these cats, man. You know what I'm saying? And Smiley and so forth. I got some additional information. I got the reasons why Smiley from Sakura, what he got hit for, what he was on freeze 2 years before for, and whatnot. But we'll get to that later on. I want to talk about this issue. So the Sureños have it in their regulars too, that they're to jump for the Norteños. And that's why you're hearing about incidences with different squads and whatnot to where the Norteños and Sureños are getting off together. You know what I'm saying? So what everybody has always said for years is pretty much being enforced now. As far as the Raza really have united behind the walls. Yeah, they're each one their own separate entity and their own separate business, but they have a working relationship now. Like if there's an issue, like with one of their people, someone owes money, they get at each other and they try to resolve it. If not, they deal with it. So the whole game has changed. You know what I'm saying? And I asked him, I go, how would you feel about it? He said, you know what? And this is a youngster that was gaming. He goes, because most of the time I was out there, we were fucking busting at fucking other homeboys. Secretly doing the red on red out there in the calles. I said, he goes, it's a good thing. He goes, it wasn't really a bad thing. He goes, the only problem that he's seen though sometimes is that there would be certain things that would be because the Sureño did a bad deal with the Norteño. Next, it became a household issue. And so sometimes people may have animosity based upon that. Like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, he said they're over there spreading, they're over there working out, and that they're promoting unity. And that's a trip, man. I never thought. We've heard these stories before. People talking about about the Sureños jumping from Nortenos, but I didn't get a detailed account till now. You know what I'm saying? And I got even the names, how it started, and whatnot. Who the dope was owed to, how much was owed, and this was like fuck, man. I was like, wow, man. I never thought in a million years you would see Norteño and Sureño unity up in the pin system. And that kind of makes it kind of a shockwave that you would have people out there who take shots at Northerners out there in the streets on their social media platforms or whatnot. Your big homeboys are rocking together, and you're being given orders to fucking fall under this bandera. You know what I'm saying? What's my opinion on it? Man, it's hard, man, because I get what this federal faction are saying, but this ain't a bad thing in my eyes. It's going to bring peace. It's going to bring unity, respect. It's something that we never thought would happen, man. And anybody who's done time, who's had conversations with active Sureños in the shoe and whatnot, I think you all admit that there's some good fucking dudes from down south that when we should chop it up, it's like, fuck, man. If we weren't oppositions, we'd be kicking it. And that's the fucking truth. And so this isn't a bad thing, man, like I said. And that's not to, like I said, it's a difficult situation, man. Those that were involved in some of the early years, you know what I'm saying, like as far as the conflicts, a lot of people are no longer there. And some people may think that the fucking NF sold out to the MA. You know what I'm saying? Or did they just join forces for a common good and a common enemy and just fucking run shit? It's however you want to perceive it, man. And it's kind of hard because there was sacrifices that were made. There was bad times back in the days where fucking a lot of Southerners were fucking were very, very fucking oppressive towards Northerners, but not every one of them was. Some of them just fucking were there just doing their time. But I guess in any situation, sometimes you got to let bygones be bygones for the greater good. And it's like we're all men, move forward. There's a bigger picture at stake. A stake about fucking putting shit together and fucking basically running California, it seems like, man. That's why the state's gained a lot of traction recently in different areas and shit. But there's always going to be those that are loyal to the feds too. So I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I think unless I was in this household to experience and see what was going on, I probably would have been loyal to the feds. You know what I mean? But then again, if I would have been in the state, sometimes you got to go with the flow politically. You know what I'm saying? And this incident kind of shocked me though, man. And it's all incidents of war are always over drug debts. Always over drug debts. It's just unfortunate that this dude, this Damu, got all tweaked out, and instead of paying his debt and admitting it, try to jump on it. But the Surenos, their shot callers fucking honored everything they said they were gonna do. We got your guys' back. You know what I'm saying? And at first the Nortenos were not expecting it. They're like, cool if they back us up, but we're not relying on that. And when they did their attack, the Surenos jumped in. It was a bloodbath, I heard. Because I mean, the yard was there was a lot of Surenos on the yard. Home Nortenos were not that deep. They boxed these dudes in from different sides. Next thing you know, they're doing on the whole football field. They had it both sides fucking pretty much covered. You know, you know what I'm saying? And that's gonna sit there and also cause a little bit of friction between black and brown. But if it's prison politics, we already know what time it is, man. What happens at one institution is not supposed to translate over. But I think with a lot of groups, this is probably the worst feeling on an active yard to see the North and South be in solidarity out there. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for the woods and it's bad for the Africanos if there's any type of disputes. Because just that little, you're taking two different groups that operate a little bit different, but are both with it. You know what I mean? The Surenos, I've always said Surenos are with it, Bulldogs are with it, Nortenos are with it, all Raza are with it. Nortenos are very calculated. They set shit up and they fucking stage their attacks. Surenos do too a little bit. They don't have as discipline of structure, but I think they're probably learning off each other now. Surenos got the numbers too. You know what I'm saying? So you put those together, it's a fucking wrap in the system, man. If people want it. I'm thinking pretty much most institutes, if you're at the right institute and once everything is known, it's just going to be dealt with right, man. Like this whole issue, that happened with the Africanos and Raza, should never happen. The dude owed fucking money. He deserved it. He should have got hit. They should, you know what I mean? But did they know? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I guess he was getting pressed up because that dope was fucking, like I said, it was Grumpy from Gilas's dope. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is a little quick spill for you guys, man. Like I said, I got some fucking stories about some things that you guys don't know that has happened that we've done spills on to kind of, I'm going to drop some throughout the week at different times, not every day. This one right here is a big one though, man. This one kind of out. It kind of shows what's going on. Like I said, every household, it has in the policies that they are to jump for Surenos. It's the truth. Anyways, this is Blanco from a convict's perspective. Much love, much respect. Please fucking hit the like and subscribe and comment and share this content. I'm gone.